Hello and welcome to Dario's Comic School. And today we have a serious topic, and the topic is a bit strange, but this is a channel for people who want to grow. And the topic is why comic artists, artists, painters run a high risk of dying from a stroke. It's maybe a bit far-reached, but maybe not, because right here, and I hope I'm in focus. I mean, I can't do much. I'm just holding this up to the camera. I hope it's in focus. This is the painter, or was the painter, William O'Connor, and he used to paint really great stuff. And this is the comic book author Ralph Niese, and he died, I guess, with 37 a year ago or 2 years ago from a stroke. William O'Connor at 34 from a stroke, and I know from a guy who was a comic artist, and he was 30 and died from a stroke. And I didn't have a stroke, but I kind of had some health issues, and I know of other artists who do. And I don't want to say it's just a thing artists have. I think many do in our modern times, and our modern day and age, especially in the West, you run the risk for stroke. Maybe in different countries there are different other things, but the Western thing is stroke, cancer, stuff like this. Definitely anxiety. A lot of it is gut related. And right now I have here my notes. I will start in a second, but I have also gotten the book Kenmogi Ikigai. I have it in German. And this book says that Japanese people, it claims that the Japanese people live the longest. And there's maybe some truth to it, because like maybe it has to do something with their diet, something with the way they live, the way they are conscient down there. And behind me is Lone Wolf and Cub, who will take at the book. And I was reading the guy who drew it. Seemed to have a long life, and I wanted to have, because like I am 37 right now, and I think I didn't really I didn't even start my career. The last 7 years were just learning. I'm feeling I'm starting now. Last year was the worst year of my life. I suffered from depression, but it's not a depression you cannot pinpoint. It's a depression that comes from being stuck in a place with a lot of worries, and also stuck inside your body, like your body doesn't, your blood or your body doesn't really move. And let's come to the first point. So, sitting at work, being stationary for a long time, or maybe working in our environments, but sitting for a long time. Like, this is my desk. I love it. And when I decided to become a teacher and teach art and also make money from it, it was partially because I was sitting a long time at a desk, and I could feel it. So the sedentary lifestyle is destroying definitely a lot of your physical juice. Like, we're human beings. Up there for the February, I have not drawn yet a thing, but it will be Conan the Barbarian. And I don't say you need to be Conan the Barbarian, but human beings are made, we're built for strength, we're built for movement, we are built for being wild animals. And we are. And it's good that we tamed ourselves to a certain degree, but we're not made for the cubicle life. We're not made to get up and be pumped that I'm gonna sit all day at a desk. Just it's not. and I have a different book from the Stephen Pressfield, and an artist is merciless. So if I do shit art, I should say and know that's shit art, but I should also be very gentle to myself. He watched a horse trainer, and this was one of the best horse trainers, and he didn't train the horses with a whip, and he wouldn't exhaust the horses or run them through the pain. He would always be very careful with a horse, and always would say, a horse that loves the track will outrun any horse every day. And so when I got up this morning, I was kind of feeling tired, not well rested, which could, we'll get to that point, which could be, and it's kind of, wait a second, it's a bit, it's a bit cold, so I should warm it up. It's February. Wait a second. It's also, if you're living in an environment that's prone, like Germany, it's sometimes a bit cold. It's good to keep yourself warm, but we'll get to that later. So when I got up, I was really pumped to do this video, and now it's kind of 4 p.m. A bit before that. I wanted to do it before, but I was doing other stuff, and I thought to myself, do I do this video another day? Do I do it today? But I was pumped. I was pumped to do this. I was pumped to paint that thing behind me, and I'm pumped to do this in the future. So the pump is carrying me forward. And also, the sedentary lifestyle destroys lives. Your blood needs to move. It needs to move in your body. And I'm looking outside now, and you also need to experience the outside life. So I guess a lot of artists maybe are constantly working stationary. And the antidote, or the solution should be this: move your blood. Go for a long walk. I do a walk in the morning. I will do a walk right after I have recorded this and before I upload it in the daytime. I had a training, a bodyweight training, like squats, pull-ups, jumping jacks, stuff like that. I had a gym. I was boxing, but it's due to Corona. It was closed for a while, but I will get back to him because I think fighting is an important skill. Everybody should learn how to fight or how to defend him or herself. I think I would teach that in the schools. I will do a video about that, a rant video about that. Let me see how much time we're offering. Okay, 8 minutes. 8 minutes in. Okay, let me get to the next point. Long walks. Have long walks. Go for jogs. Find out what serves you best. Don't exhaust yourself. Be intelligent. Have fun. If you ain't having fun, you ain't doing it right. And if you ain't doing it right, write me or check the internet, or listen to your intuition. Don't work at night. I know that Ralph was working at night, and I'm not a great fan of that. I mean, I know I have worked at night, and I know I have finished work when the sun came up, and I sent it to the United States, and I felt like a hero, and that definitely has its times. But you should sleep at night, because your body regenerates at night, and it's really, really important that you get a good sleep. They say the good sleep before 11 o'clock. That has to do because your gallbladder, the gallbladder has its time from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. and the gallbladder makes the bile to break down fat. If you cannot break down fat in your small intestine, it will clog up, back up, and it will lead to difficulties in your heart, because the systems, your organs, you have organ pairs, they're related. I studied for the last 10 years traditional Chinese medicine. I wouldn't say studied it, but I read everything I could to survive, because like Western medicine couldn't help me or didn't adequately answer my question. But traditional Chinese medicine, like really simple, said, don't overeat, move your blood, sleep, work out, see people, don't sit for too long, don't stress out, watch a funny movie, don't eat all that junk, eat your vegetables, don't eat too many vegetables. Like very simple, very intelligent, and you can definitely Google some complex stuff, and TCM will always give you, I would say, always give you 100% the right answer, because they figured shit out 2000 years ago. And it's pretty simple. Like, believe me, it's not complicated. It's always simple. I mean, I ate a few cookies an hour ago, and it's simple carbs, it's sugar, it's not so good for your body. Doesn't mean that you have to skip all that, but some of the nutrition we eat in the West is pretty backwards, like maybe too much animal protein. Do I have to say go vegan? You don't have to go all vegan. I was raw vegan for a year, and it cost me also a lot of health, because I was eating just bananas and cereals and too much liquid stuff and raw stuff, and that's also not healthy. Like, just Google a 10-minute video about traditional Chinese medicine and you will get the basics, and it's really, really intelligent. So, move your blood. Number 2, I'm sorry for ranting, but I will put some awesome timestamps beneath this video so that you can jump from point to point. Constantly working. What does it mean? As an artist, I didn't learn to be an artist. I learned to be maybe a director, and maybe I learned to be, even if I studied, I mean, I went to movie school, but realized that wherever you go, every school will only, to a certain degree, teach you what you really need to know, and to a certain degree, waste your time and waste your money. And when you're out, you're just a cog in a machine. You're ready to go work somewhere. And that's maybe okay, but then this book says, find your ikigai, find what makes you happy. It's the question, what's good for this world? Do you have to grow up? Do you have to become and make the money? You should. It's also very cool to be productive and to contribute to the world. But the way things are set up are kind of strange. And what I mean by constant work is like maybe you didn't learn your craft in school, or you learned your craft in school and then you're trying to find customers, and that's okay, that's a normal process. But then you see people go work 9 to 5, or let's see, they wake up at 5 and then they work at 3 o'clock at some car factory, and they go home. And maybe I worked at a car factory, and it was a pretty gray day. I got in and it was night. I got out and it was night, and made me really depressed. Also, I'm an artist, so that's what I should do. But constantly working as an artist, like maybe like this week I was doing YouTube videos, and I was doing 24/7. I was painting, I was making YouTube videos, I was uploading, I was writing in the captions, I was checking out things to send to my customers, and so there's no beginning and no end point. And then I wake up and it's the same again, and yeah, that's a work day. But maybe if you have like a structured work day or work a normal 9 to 5 job, you wake up, you go to work, you come home, and you definitely have to relax, because you have to, like, it's not your business. You're just an employee. And if you're maybe a working artist, you're like constantly thinking, responding to emails, and that is the thing that you shouldn't do. You should really say on the weekends I do nothing, or the Sunday I do nothing, or I work from 9 to 5 or from 8 maybe to 6, but that's enough. And so the constantly working, it's what gets you killed. Number 3, again, movement. Movement is mandatory. You cannot sit all day in your room. You have to move your blood, you have to move your ass, you have to pump your muscles, you have to see people as good as you can. I know right now there's a global pandemic, but I hope it's soon over and that people recognize that you cannot spend your whole day in front of a screen and in a room, that your body and mind will get depressed. Number 4, no workout. Workout is mandatory. It's pretty simple. You gotta have a good pump, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. If you're a girl watching, you still gotta get some squats in or do some push-ups. Get on your knees, do the push-ups on your knees. I find the push-ups on your knees, you put something beneath your knees so that you're not on a hard surface. And I find those push-ups are really amazing too. So work out every day if you can. I don't say kill yourself every day. I don't say don't burn yourself out. That's not what I'm saying. Just some light workouts, like 20 minutes, half an hour. Google it or ask and I will do a video on it, but it's not complicated. Number 5, deadline stress. Like artists maybe have always a deadline stress, maybe juggling more projects, and some or maybe most of the artists I know, or if you're a freelance artist, you're working from your home, you're trying to pay the rent, you have to get the money in, and so you're constantly on this thing, and the deadlines are always on your mind. You're always working. Again, that ties together. Also, number 6, money stress. Maybe if you're an established artist, you got the money stress because you have so much to do. I mean, I had times where I was starting to getting commissions, and this was my skill wasn't as high, and I was skill wasn't high, payment wasn't high, but the risk wasn't that high either. So I wasn't totally stressed. I knew I could take some time, and once I got it off, it was okay. But there wasn't a constant stress. But let's say you have to pay the rent, you have a family, you have things to take care of. So things start to get a different scale. Like you're really feeling the pressure of getting the money in, of working the hours, and this ties all together. I hope like we're in 18 minutes and we're talking more or less about the same, like money stress. And then number 7, lack of joy, lack of a partner, lack of socialize. What do you truly need? Address what you don't have. Don't ignore it, but don't stress out over it. This is a really a strange point, because I have to say I was so dedicated about my art career, and I don't want to say I neglected something. I just picked art and making comics and making artwork and getting better above everything else, because I thought once I have that down, I can then trade my skill for money, and from that money I can build my life. And it did work out, but then over the years things, let's say I was drawing all day long here, and then at a certain point I thought, man, I cannot stay always in my room just working commissions or comic work. I need to get out, I need to teach. And then I shifted a bit and I split into drawing and teaching. And that was good because like it opened up different streams of income, but also I needed to get my body to the school, to a workshop, to a different place, stay there. and be there with different people, have different experiences, and that was definitely a good thing. But then lack of could be you have a lack of, you're missing your hobbies, you're missing dancing, you're missing people, you miss a partner, you neglected your health, whatever you mean, but whatever you think of, like number 7, lack of, whatever you're missing, pinpoint it down, and maybe you can start turning yourself again towards the thing that you're lacking. Don't stress out, go only a small way. I pointed out what we can do. There is definitely okay, what we can do about that, like again, movement. Number 2, secure income streams, easing the financial stress so that you don't put your burden only on yourself and your artwork, but maybe you have a normal job on the side till this gets off, and that would help you. Workouts, relaxation time is very important. You should make time to relax and to enjoy yourself. And if you can, you will try to maintain a balance, but sometimes life isn't balanced. But if you can, always return to that balance and make time for it. Like try to practice a day that really works. Like I was saying this week, usually after eating, I jumped to work, but I didn't really digest that well, and I was back at my desk, and so I put in like walking or reading or relaxing for half an hour before I start to work again. Make time for people, loved ones, make an effort if they're missing in your life. And then a big number is, I didn't want to make this video this long, but now it is, eat well. Eat at least 3 times a day. Do not overeat, do not undereat. Try intermittent fasting. Don't eat after a certain time because your sleep won't be that good. Your body will always try to pump in insulin, and it's always trying to do something when it should rest. So don't use eating as a coping strategy. Maybe don't do drugs, or do them if they help. Don't drink alcohol. I'm not a big fan of alcohol, but if you need to drink alcohol to relax a bit, do it. Like, do you find out what works for you. If it won't work, you will come at a certain point in your life to a breaking point, and either you break or your awareness will shift and you will say, okay, no more of that bullshit. Make healthy choices. That's a good question. What are healthy choices? You will find out, or you ask me, then I will tell you, or you Google it. And don't go to bonkers in either or. Don't eat all day McDonald's. But if you want to eat McDonald's, eat it once. And don't eat all the time just good food, because it could be that your body at a certain point says, oh man, I can't handle all these bananas, all those nuts, all this raw fruit. You're swamping me with raw and cold foods. Like, you know what I mean? We have so much isms this day, like veganism and ism and materialism, minimalism and labelism, and take that and throw it out and create your own simple life. Look what works for you. I know heavy meat doesn't work for me, but from time to time I like some meat, but I don't need it. And I tend to be vegan, but I wouldn't go all out and say I'm a vegan. So find out or ask. Definitely eat less sugar, but if you need sugar, try it out. But it's not so good to the system. But I wouldn't also say that it's bad for the system, because there were some times where I wasn't eating any sugar and I was eating just fruits and nuts and vegetables, and my body couldn't digest that raw stuff, and a cookie or a bread kinda made it better. Like, it brought me back to life. Maybe not so much fat, maybe not so much fruit. Okay, let me see. We're on the 25-minute point. It will cut it off soon, I guess. Let's get to the final points. Don't overburden your liver, gallbladder, your stomach, whatever you have. Eat when you're hungry, when you're full, stop it. I can't do it sometimes, but I try. Stay in the present moment. Don't ruminate too much about the past. Don't think too much about the future. Come to a calm moment in the now. I know I had a lot of trouble in the past, and I have had fear of the future. You kind of have to deal with it. And once you come back to the moment, to the now, and your body feels good, everything is possible again. Let me see if it cuts off. Okay, let me get to the final points. The final points, it was emotional stress, relax, like childhood traumas, bad decisions, stress from money, stress from what you want. Just, I guess, calm down, make a new plan, and see where it goes. We can do a video on that. Get help if you need it. Get help from a nutritionist. Google the TCM stuff, the traditional Chinese medicine. They know what they do, but they're mostly expensive, but you can do it also alone, or I make a video about it. And number 4, the big thing, project overload. I hope the camera is not dying on me right now. Project overload means I can do a bunch of stuff. I can draw, and I have the appetite for a lot of projects. But should I do them all together? And the answer is no. I cannot paint a picture, finish a comic, paint a calendar, paint another picture, read that comic, read that book, ship that, install that, do that, this, that, a million things. I cannot do that. And having a million things on my plate just will stress me out. Too many projects, too many to chew and digest, and it's your lifetime will just get too small. Like you won't be able to enjoy life when you have too much on your plate. And now I come to an end. Incredible that I talked for half an hour or rambled on. I'm sorry. I thought this was I could concentrate this in 10 minutes. Maybe I should redo it, but I don't think so. Maybe it's good that all the rumbly stuff is in it. And yeah, keep your body healthy, keep your mind healthy, have fun, relax, come to the present moment. If something is stressing you out, ask me anything. I will reply. I will make a video of it. I'm kinda drawing, painting guy, but also shaman, and have seen childhood traumas, and I know what works from eating and not. And if you're having panic attacks, cut down on the meat, on the nuts, on the chocolate, on mostly fat and what is it? Fat and protein, just fat. But if you're eating chocolate, that's sometimes hard to digest. If you're not eating an apple or something sour to help your liver, gallbladder, you ain't digesting it. That causes you panic attacks. We'll see you soon.